Sage and saying, let's make this snappy, chap. You just gave me a great idea. Let's make a site and let's call it Snapchap. We could make chapstick or something like that. Snapchap. I don't know, man. I'm saying that's got a good possibility of making billions. I might even be underselling it a little bit. Snapchap. Official chapstick of the Thundercloud. Snapchap. Oh, I like that. That's got a good ring to it, honestly. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with what we just came up with right there. That's what we call a little shake and bake action right there. That's when you know there's a chemistry going on. And speaking of chemistry, Sage helped me today. I will thank you for helping me build the Thundercloud on Discord because I was lost. And then I gave you permission to take control of everything. And then I was found. And we got this shit off the ground finally. Next bitch will be Twitch. I don't think we should do TikTok. Do you, Sage? I don't think TikTok's something we should migrate to. Aren't they getting rid of TikTok or some shit? I don't know anything about TikTok. You tell me. We could definitely make enough money to buy a sports team with fucking Snapchat lip gloss. Sage says, I don't use TikTok, so fuck it. Neither do I. That's mostly there for short videos. I don't think that's really there for people that are like podcasting or streaming or that sort of thing. That's there for like the fucking people that are ADHD today that can't spend more than 12 seconds with one thought or whatever. Use YouTube for the shorts. And of course here we've got a little bit to get into today, don't we? We got quite a bit to get into. By quite a bit, not a ton. We'll start off, well, it's been a while since we checked for an NBA update. Let's start by let's just see if we've got a little bit of an NBA update to go to. No, there's nothing in the NBA. There's some sort of investigation against Malik Beasley, but who the fucking cares? It's Malik Beasley. If it was Luka Doncic, then maybe we could talk. Let me take a look at Sage's comment here. Yeah, I agree with you. Too many apps as is. I don't really see how this type of arrangement here would benefit from Instagram either. I'm not going to do short videos ever. It's just, unless you guys want to take like a 20-second rant and edit it down, go for it. I'm not doing that shit. I will never edit. Everything will always be fucking live and to the fucking point. That way you can, make a determination. Is this guy smart or is he a fucking idiot? Twitter for socials. What do you mean by social? What's a social? I remember Sociable's crackers. Is that what you're talking about? You plugging in some crackers right now? Getting a little Cracker Jack action? We'll see what Sage has to say there. Let's go over the Blue Jays, who continue to be completely mediocre for their last 40 games. What are the Jays' record in the last 40 games, you might say? Well, it's exactly 500. 20-20. And that's kind of how I expect them to end the year. Going 500 down the stretch. Is that going to be enough to win the division? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But it's 17 games left, and we've really got to get shit together. Like, you know, you go on a nice little 5-6 game win streak here, you're probably looking at closing time where you actually can win the division. But instead, it's, you know, win 1, lose 2, win 2, lose 1. You know, it's like, it's just too much of a teeter-totter right now for the Jays. Like, instead of TikTok and oh, okay. Well, I'll have to learn what it is. Social media, you frig face. Okay, I understand now. After the frig face comment there. But yeah, I don't know. The Blue Jays, let's get right to it. The good news today is both the Yankees and Boston lost. That's great. You remain 3 games up on them, but at the same time, it was an opportunity to pull ahead. The Jays were down 2-0. I believe it was 2-0. Maybe it was 2-1. Yeah, it was 2-0 earlier in the game, I believe. Yeah, it was 2-0 until the 8th inning. Okay, yeah, I'm right. So it was 2-0 until the 8th inning, and then the Jays scored 2 runs. And then what do? Like, they could have walked off. There was what was it? Before Vladimir Guerrero, you had I don't know who was it. What was it? Nathan Lukes or something. He did do good earlier in the game. But I think there was 1 out with runners on first and third. I could be all fucked up, though. You know, maybe a little fucked up. I don't know. But it was a good opportunity to win there. At the worst, though, I mean, they did tie it up 2-2 entering the 9th, so you should feel pretty good about your chances. The problem is Jeff Hoffman came in again to close a game, and he led a home run. He led his 15th home run of the year. 15th home run of the year. He's good when he hits his location, but that fastball is as straight as a dart. If he hits it down the middle or if he mislocates, it just seems to be getting hit out of the park too much. I know we paid him to be our closer, but at this point, I think maybe you need to look to switch it up. Maybe have, you know, Sir Anthony Dominguez as your closer. Probably makes sense. I don't like Caleb Joseph a whole lot, but I am going to, you know, I'm going to kind of side with him on this. I'm going to agree with Caleb Joseph here. I think it's time to make a switch. You can't have a guy that's let 15 home runs. Like, we got 15 home runs in how many innings? Like 60? Let me just take a look here. Granted, he hasn't been bad this year. I'm not saying he's been bad. It's 61 in a third inning. He's got great strikeouts. 78 strikeouts in 61 innings. His whip isn't that bad. It's 1.15, 1.16 in that range. That's really not that bad of a whip. The only problem is he's letting home runs. He's let 15 of them now. So 15 home runs. How does that compare versus our starters? Like, Sage, I want you to do a little research. Like, look up. Well, I could do it real quick. Let's just compare him to Jose Berrios, a starting pitcher who is good, but he tends to let a little bit of, you know, little juice on the balls, a few home runs. Let's just take a look here. A starter, 23 home runs and 154 and 2/3 innings. So he's letting a lot more home runs. He's letting a home run like what, every fucking 4 outings? Every 4 to 5 outings, he's letting a home run basically. Sage says, I've made the tough decision to leave Mackenzie Gore on the IR even though he starts tomorrow. You're not leaving him there permanently, are you? On the IR? Are you leaving him there permanently? Interesting. We'll see what Sage has to say here. Let's get into what happened today. So, box score-wise, it's not a great box score. You got 7 hits. Andre Jimenez, pretty good day at the plate, 2 for 3. Ernie Clement 2 for 3. You got Ty France going 1 for 1 and a pinch hitting opportunity. Then you got Nathan Lukes 1 for 4. In terms of walks, you had 1 walk, so at the dish it wasn't very good today. We already went over Jeff Hoffman. He did cost the game. Berrios could have been better. I think he let a bomb as well. Yeah, he let a home run. But 2 earned runs and 5 1/3 isn't too bad. The rest of the way, our bullpen was good, except they did walk 3. Other than Jeff Hoffman, who luckily he didn't walk anyone. But we had 3 walks in 2 1/3 inning without Jeff Hoffman. One of them being Brendan Little, who only won 1/3 of an inning. His command is shot. This guy's going to be done next year, as I said he would. This is why I can't trust relievers, not many of them. They are failed starters for a reason. They have flaws. They have warts all over them. Although this Braden Fisher guy who we got for Kevon Biggio, he's looking pretty good. He's got a 2.81 ERA on the year. I mean, that's... If you're around 3 or under, I mean, that's pretty damn good. But Jeff Hoffman, 4.76. We're going to have to just move into a situation. Go by matchups. I've always liked closer by committee. I think it's stupid to go with your closer as a 9th inning guy because sometimes, believe it or not, you're going to save the game in the 6th or 7th inning. Or sometimes maybe your closer sucks against certain guys and you want to put in someone who does well against them. So, anyways, Jays drop it 3-2. Big opportunity. They'll be playing everything at 2:30 Eastern time in Game 3. Hopefully, they will win the rubber match against the Astros and at least take care of that problem, which will be seeding, hopefully, for the playoffs. Now I'm going to turn my attention back to the chat. So you say Mackenzie Gore's ERA is concerning. His ERA is concerning. It's certainly inflated when he got traded to your team. Great strikeout guy. I'll give him that. He is a very good strikeout guy. But, damn, that ERA is high. And it got higher. He was traded, I think, twice. I think I had Mackenzie Gore to start the year. And then Dan was pretty high, and we used him in that big blockbuster trade. I don't know. Can't remember the players. I think it got me Jose Ramirez, though. Could be wrong. I think that was the trade. It was the Jose Ramirez trade. The one that had him Bo Bichette and some other motherfucker go his way. Mackenzie Gore. Big trade. Hopefully Bo Bichette can get back soon. This offense is sputtering. Alright, so we went over that. Tomorrow we do have Thursday night football, which means I'll be leaving work early at 8 p.m. Eastern. I will be gone from work. Can't wait for that. I do want to preview a few things here. So, as it currently stands, just looking at Bet365, the Packers are projected to, they're favorites to win by, a spread of -3.5. So 4 or more. That seems like a big ask. As a Packers fan, I'm thinking this should be more of a 1.5 type of a spread. Maybe a 2.5. Like, I do think the Packers are going to win, and I'm going to break down why I think they're going to win, and I'll do it in depth quite a bit, because I actually know a bit about what I'm talking about, I do have some good ideas from the membrane coming out here real soon. But I just feel like my prediction right now, Packers win a close one. I would probably, as a gambler, be putting money on Washington to cover the spread. So that's kind of how I see it. I could also make the argument, if I'm a gambler, I'd probably put money on Washington to win because they're worth 2.5 to 1, basically. So 2.5 for every dollar you put on, you would get back if the Commanders outright win. Now that's tall order, especially when we kind of get into some things. So first things first, the Packers are the youngest team in the league, and the Commanders, or the Redskins, are the oldest team in the league. So it's kind of interesting when you look at it from that perspective. It's a short week for both teams, obviously. Both teams played on Sunday, and now both teams are playing, on Thursday. So who does the rest benefit more? Like, you would think that the team that's younger could potentially recover faster than the old men, but maybe the old men have already had the reps that they just, take a bit of more of a breather at practice than the Packers. I don't know. I think that's a good question, Sage. Maybe put a poll up, but I don't think anyone's here because I don't know. I think it's just the two of us. Oh, maybe three. I don't know. But Sage, what are your thoughts on that? Who do you think that benefits? A short week. Does it benefit the younger team, or does it benefit the team that is the oldest in the league? Oldest or youngest? Short week. Who does that favor? Then once we get that point out of the way, I've got a few other things to kind of go over here. I think it benefits the younger as well, because I think if they need to rest the young guys, they can do that as well. So I do think it benefits them. I think that I don't think that what concerns me a bit is the injuries. I probably should bring up the Washington injuries. I don't think they have as many, so I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna focus on the Packers injuries. So we've already got two players ruled out for the Packers. Now you're talking the 6'7" receiver for the Packers, Bo Melton. I mean, yeah, he contributes on special teams, but you're going to be okay there. That's not a huge loss. That's your cornerback that doesn't even play. Brenton Cox, to a lesser extent, but a guy who's been injured that should probably play this week is their fourth-round pick, Barron Sorrell, who was one of the best rookies, or was the best rookie defensively in the preseason per PFF. I'm interested to see what he can do. I think he's better than Brenton Cox anyway. So I'm okay with those injuries. The injuries, and they called up Micah Robinson to, cover for Bo Melton. So I'm fine with that. He's our seventh-round pick, on the practice squad. Kamal Haddon to play some snaps on special teams. I'm okay with that as well. Now, we still got 5 questionable players. One of them's not questionable. They keep putting defensive end Micah Parsons as questionable. He's not questionable. He's going to play. He'll be on a snap count. I put him on a snap count this week. Then after the bye, or the half bye, I guess you could say, because you're going to be off to Sunday or Monday after this. So you'll be off for a week and a half. Then they'll remove that designation. He's not questionable. He will absolutely play. Zane Anderson. Well, Zane Anderson is more of a special teams player, and he's at our most loaded position of safety. We really don't need Zane Anderson. He's questionable, so he might play. That's fine. Our cornerback, Nate Hobbs, questionable. Would I like him to play? Absolutely. Is it necessarily the end of the world if he doesn't? Not really, and potentially could be a good thing in the long run, because if he doesn't play this week, then he'll be 100% come, the next game, which I don't even know who the hell it's against yet. Now, these are the 2 injuries that concern me a little bit. So, newly acquired Aaron Banks, playing left guard for the Packers. We paid him, $77 million over 4 years. He's got a back injury, he's had an ankle groin injury. So I'm actually glad to hear that, because in the offseason he was battling with a bit of a back injury. So I'm glad to hear it's actually just a bit of a different injury, in my opinion. So, could play. I don't know if he will. If he doesn't, look for Jordan Morgan to plug in. First round pick, not last year, but the year before. I think that's a hell of a play anyway. It's a good backup to have, in my opinion. Great option to have. That's why you draft all those fucking linemen. Now, here's the one that scares me a bit more. That's our right tackle, Zach Tom. One of the best right tackles in the league, most definitely. So I kind of feel like what's going to happen here. So we're kind of set with Rasheed Walker at left tackle. You've got Aaron Banks or Jordan Morgan playing left guard, most likely. You've got Elton Jenkins at center. At right guard, you're going to have Sean Ryan. He's 100% ready to go. Then, if Zach Tom plays, great. If he doesn't play, probably that Kennard guy that we got from the Eagles. Maybe Anthony Belton. Or, if Aaron Banks plays, you can kick over Jordan Morgan to right tackle. He was drafted as a left tackle. He does have versatility. So, I think we'll be okay regardless of what our O-line is. And potentially long-term, it's going to give us, if Jordan Morgan has to play, that gives us good experience for him getting some, especially against a team that's pretty legit. Now, I do have questions about the Redskins and their D-line. They brought in Von Miller. They let Dante Fowler, who had 10.5 sacks, walk away. The this offseason, whatever we're going to call it here. So I don't really like their pass rush a whole lot. I know they got Deron Payne, who was great, I think, in 2022. They added like Javon Kinlaw and some run stuffers. None of the guys they added, in my opinion, are going to add much pass rush, in my opinion. They do have that Lavuvu, I don't know, middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, so Lavuvu can get some pass rush as well. I think he's more better. I don't know. He's a good player. I don't know about Wagner, though. He's 35 years old. I'm not sure they're necessarily going to stop the run this year either. Last year they were 30th in the league at stuffing the run. So, I mean, you've got Josh Jacobs, and you're going to have a good mauling offensive line for running anyway. I think the Packers are going to be able to run on these guys, even if they are a bit improved. They only really dealt with that with free agency and just veterans that are not overly outstanding or anything like that. So I still kind of like the matchup there. Trying to think. I mean, they brought in Marshawn Lattimore to play corner. They brought in, Trey Amos at cornerback. They got another guy, I don't know his fucking name. I'm not an expert when it comes to all these fucking Commanders players. Marshawn Lattimore had a down year last year. Now, maybe it's because he was playing with the Saints and he was banged up. He's getting close to 30, though, so I wouldn't expect if he had a big regression. It certainly wouldn't surprise me. And Trey Amos is a rookie, second rounder, who was supposed to be, first rounder, fell to the late second round. You never know what you got in those guys, especially in the first year. There's a big learning curve. I don't know if their safeties are particularly great. They got a great head coach that's defensive-minded, Dan Quinn. So, they'll probably scheme up some stuff. They were pretty good against the pass last year, I think. But we'll see how it all plays out. Now, if you kind of look at from the Packers from a defensive standpoint, this is where it kind of gets interesting. So just give me 1 second here. And no, that's not me going to fucking grab cheat sheets. Everything I'm doing right now is coming from my brain. It's not coming from a fucking... I don't prepare anything. I'll prepare little things like, Bet365. I bring that up to see that. Most of this stuff's just coming from the fucking brain. So let's look at the offensive line for Washington. This is where the games get won, right? They get one up front. So playing left tackle is Laramie Tunsil from Houston. Now, Sage, correct me if I'm wrong, but Laramie Tunsil is, around 30 or 31. Could be wrong about his age. I don't think I am. He played for Houston, and he was declining the last 2 or 3 seasons, in my opinion. Is that a fair assessment of Laramie Tunsil? He's not who he used to be when he was a perennial Pro Bowler year in and year out. I think he's a 5-time Pro Bowler. I think those were in his first 5 or 6 years, though. So Sage agrees there. They've got a left guard who... I have no idea. They've got a new left guard who is... I don't think he's considered very good. Their center is very good. Their right guard... he was playing left guard last year. I don't know how well he played it. It's a new position for him, though. Their right tackle is Josh Connerly, a first-round pick from this year's draft. So you're talking they've got 3 new offensive linemen this year, one of which is swapping positions, basically. Okay, so if I'm Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator for Green Bay, what am I looking to do? I think I'm going to put Micah Parsons up against the Josh Connerly and let the Micah Parsons project play out a little bit. Sage says Texans fans were thrilled he got traded. That's what I remember, too, at the draft, because the Commanders overpaid it for him. They overpaid for him big time. But you got to look at that. So I really feel like the Packers, you got Rashawn Gary, you've got, what's his name there? Micah Parsons. So those are going to be the 2 coming off the edge. Micah Parsons can come up the middle. If you think you can exploit a matchup up the middle, go for it. You can also bring Edgerrin Cooper up the middle. That'll be interesting to see. I do think that they're going to use Edgerrin Cooper and spies a bit more tomorrow. So I don't know if they'll bring him on some blitzes, but I think you're going to have to spy him because Jaden Daniels can run. Basically, you've got Luca Vanessa, who looked good week 1. You've got, a stable of defensive linemen. You got the Cheetah package, which we can go to. I think that defensive line versus offensive line, I think the Packers are going to win that matchup. I really do. Even though the Detroit Lions don't have Ragnow, they have a good defense or good offensive line, and we still managed to get 4 sacks and a lot of pressures against them. So I do think that the favors the Packers. We'll see what happens. Look for Micah Parsons probably to play about the same, maybe 30 or 40 snaps. He wanted more last week, so maybe give him 35 or 40 and just let him wreak havoc. And it's going to be interesting to me because I think they can beat the offensive line. The only thing is there is a bit of a game changer behind that offensive line, Jaden Daniels. He rushed for over 800 or 900 yards last year. So that's why I'm saying Edgerrin Cooper, keep him as a spy a bit. I don't think you necessarily have to go crazy with the blitz. Keep your eyes looking at the quarterback, which the Packers, I think, will do a good job of. I don't think they're going to play a ton of man coverage. I'm wondering what we're going to get out of the run game apart from Jaden Daniels. I know Deebo Samuel, he's a wide receiver, 220 pounds, who's probably going to be used more, as a wide receiver, but he's going to get some runs as well. They've got this young guy named Ja'Cory something. Don't know much about him. Austin Eckler, I don't think is going to be a big factor unless it's passing the ball. And let's face it, we kept Jahmyr Gibbs to 10 receptions for 30 yards. I'm not too concerned about Austin Eckler, if I'm being honest with you. Not at this stage of the game. Maybe 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I'd be scared to death of Austin Eckler. So, Zage, I'm going to ask you, how do you think this is going to go? The Packers defense versus the Commanders offense. Granted, I mean, both teams did great in week 1. The Packers beat a real team. The Redskins beat the fucking New York Giants. So what do you think of the matchup? Offense versus defense for both sides. Do you have any opinion? And if you don't have an opinion, that's fine. You're not a Packers fan. I think Sage has fallen asleep. Had too much of the Snapchat. Too much of the Snapchat. Let's take a look here. This kind of depends, probably favors the Packers, but the Commanders have some threats with Daniels. I feel like Daniels is the big guy you got a game plan around. I mean, obviously they got Terry McLaurin, who's very good as well, but I feel like we can come up with a game plan to like neutralize those guys. I think it's coming up with a game plan where you can kind of neutralize those guys, but also neutralize Jaden Daniels. I think that's going to be the focal point. If I'm saying that, I'm pretty sure someone that's smarter than me when it comes to defense, Jeff Hafley, is thinking that, and he actually has the tools to actually be able to implement that, in my opinion. So it's a big game tomorrow because I feel like if the Packers can go 2-0, beat the Lions, beat the Redskins, I mean, that's a hell of a start against two fucking very good teams. And the schedule doesn't exactly get easy this year, but I think it comes down to Jaden Daniels too. Now, does Jaden Daniels regress? I mean, I could certainly see the Packers giving Jaden Daniels some looks that confuse him and some looks where he doesn't necessarily pass well or he throws some picks. I can definitely see him doing that. What worries me more about him is the running game. Now, this isn't the Packers of old. This isn't the Packers that used to go to the NFC Championship most years and then lose because Raheem Mostert was running for like 300 fucking yards. We can stop the run, and we've got some good bodies. We got Nazir Stakos, who he's specifically designed to stop the run. I think Devontae Wyatt's pretty good at it. Colby Wooden, he's put on some weight, so he can stop the run. But kind of with this guy, you're looking more at your Vaness, your Rashawn Gary, your Micah Parsons, your Edgerrin Cooper, your Quay Walker. Those are going to be the guys that have to stop him out in space because, Colby Wooden, Carl Brooks, those guys aren't going to get to him. They're not fast enough. All right, so my final prediction is, I'm trying to think, because this one could, as much as I think the Packers will keep them to a pretty good score, like, you know what I mean? Like a 24-21 kind of makes sense to me. It could be lower scoring though for the Redskins if we game plan and we execute. Could the game be higher scoring? I'm not sure week 2 on a short week. It's going to be one of those blowouts where both teams are getting over 30. Maybe later in the year. I'm thinking both teams are going to keep their points to under 30. That's my prediction. Now, either team could probably go off and score 30, 34 easily, but I'm going to go with 24-21. I'm going to go with the Packers. I'm going to say this is a tough one to call, and if I was betting to cover the spread, I would go for the Redskins. But you know what's great about this game? It's a Thursday night football game that doesn't fucking suck. Doesn't fucking suck at all. How many of those games have we had on Thursday nights where we're just like, who gives a fuck? Like, you know, fucking Dolphins and Titans. Respectfully, Sage, those were just two teams that came to my head. Like, who cares about those types of games? Give us some real competitive teams. And you know, I'd probably watch Tennessee, though. I'd watch Tennessee. I want to see what this Cam Ward guy's all about. See what the hype's all about. Even though he's a little underhyped, which I think he probably wants us to be a little underhyped, if you ask me. All right. Check it out tomorrow. I think it starts at, 8:22. Who do you got? Al Michaels and that other motherfucker, Kirk Herbstreit on the call. So, two pretty good announcers. Love Al Michaels, but I think Al Michaels with Chris Collinsworth was the best. Let's take our attention to the Pete Rose Bowl cut. Starting to chip away like a lumberjack. You got Alejandro's astounding, I almost said scorecard, astounding team putting some points on the board. It's currently 12-3 for me, the Rodfather, also known as the Thundertaker, among other things. You've got Tommy Callahan's auto parts up 10-6, though it was 9-7 mere hours ago when I last checked. You got the Dark Sliders cutting into Vlad the Impaler's lead. It's 9-6 for Vlad the Impalers. And Orange Juicy Fruit says, I'm here to stay. He's up 13-3 over Graham's great team. He does not want to relinquish control of the toilet bowl whatsoever. A move was made. Pablo Lopez was added to my squad because I had an injury to... He's in the concussion protocol. Michael Waka. So I had to get Pablo Lopez added there, and he's a good little pickup, I think. Maybe he'll be used to fucking dismantle Sage. We'll have to find out next week. In terms of the OJ's Juicery, OJ's Juicy Fruit, I don't know what we're going to call it. We might rebrand this shit. We'll come up with something. I think we had quite a few moves since last night. Now, we have changes so that you can make as many moves as you want in the week. I'm going to go over each and every one of the moves. Give me 1 second here. I'm not bringing up their stats or anything. Like, holy fuck, you guys made a lot of moves. Okay, so September 10. Oh! Chris Godwin was a free agent. It looks like Deflate These Balls has inked Chris Godwin to a contract. Interesting. Now, I think Abuku could take some time away from him. Plus, you got Mike Evans. So, I'm not sure about fantasy and how well he'll do. But, I mean, he's always been a solid player throughout his career. So, I mean, it's not a bad player to pick up. That goes to Deflate These Balls. I made a few moves myself. I picked up Dylan Sampson, running back for the Cleveland Browns, and I dropped Dak Prescott. Dylan Sampson had a lot of receptions in week 1. He's a 4th-round back, rookie. I'll give him a shot. I'll pair him with Jerome Ford and just see what the hell happens. Now, Deflate These Balls did take a player that I was looking to add, and that is Quentin Johnston being added for Trey Harris of both of San Diego Chargers, actually. I think that's a pretty good pickup there. I added Alontae Taylor for Bernardo Green, and I used Fantasy Pros to get that done. Deflate These Balls added Quinshawn Judkins of Cleveland, believing that he will be the starter. He's not favored to be the starter. And he just had his domestic thing, so we'll see what happens there. I also added Demondre Lenore and dropped Cam Taylor-Britt, cornerbacks. You got Tim Tebow Bible Club adding Pat Fryermuth and dropping rookie Javon Walker, Jalen Walker. Javon Walker, I was thinking of Green Bay. You had Patchwork Pigskins adding Braylon Allen and dropping Rashad Bateman. Interesting. I'm not sure if she's got the starter there in New York or what. I did add another guy, and I had to drop Brock Purdy to make it happen. I added Darnell Mooney, who not a huge ceiling, but he's got a pretty high floor. Kind of like him. He's pretty solid out there. And Michael Penix is pretty good too. I also made another ad, Emmanuel Wilson for Abdul Carter. Emmanuel Wilson backs up my guy, Josh Jacobs, if there's an injury. I love to do the handcuffs. I do it every year, and I'll never stop doing it. Then finally, we've got Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts entering the fray, saying bye-bye to Chase McLaughlin. Hello, Josh Sly. So I think there's a kicking problem up at the Auto Parts Industries. I think there's a kicking problem, and this is going to be a revolving door for the entire season. That's what I suspect. Sage, I feel like there's some controversy coming your way. You're going to be the type of fucking GM to keep two kickers. You're going to be so unsure of how good these guys can be. That's what I feel is going on right now. Joey Sly, when was the last time Joey Sly was any good, Sage? Let's be real here. Sage has nothing to say. This week. Oh, so he is going to just keep adding fucking kickers every week. I see how it is. Who are your lowly Tennessee Titans playing this week? The fucking, who are you guys playing? This guy's not too bad from... You guys think that you're going to be able to score field goals against the Rams? You're counting on Tennessee to be able to move the ball when their best pass catcher drops 3 and their entire team drops 8. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me, Sage? Is that what you're telling me, Sage? I need to hear it. Hands will be found from the lost and found. So are you guys planning on making a move or something? Or I didn't hear that the Tennessee added anyone with Velcro to their hands. Or is that the next thing? The next scandal we're gonna have is fucking Velcro being put onto the gloves, because you guys could definitely use it, or maybe some Stickum. Put a little bit of that Stickum on the gloves. That might get the job done. We'll see, Sage. We will certainly see. Alright, well, I'm going to definitely make some more moves tonight. That's all I know. I'm going to revamp everything. I'm revamping. I think I drafted a poor defensive team, and I'm looking to add to my defense, and I'm looking to add to my offense. So don't be surprised if Jaquan Brisker, great player, is dropped tomorrow. So if you're looking for a safety, look for Jaquan Brisker to be a free agent very fucking soon. And that's all there is to it. Alright, great game tomorrow. Sage, did I miss anything? Anything that you can think of? Oh, also, Justin Jefferson is on the trade block. So anyone who's interested in adding Justin Jefferson, know that he's out there. He's to be had. He's got a great young quarterback throwing to him. I mean, you look at this J.J. McCarthy and what he did in the fourth quarter. This guy's a hell of a talent. He might throw to Justin Jefferson for over 2,000 yards. So I'm asking for a lot for Justin Jefferson. So if you want to pay a king's ransom for Justin Jefferson, just give me a call, because this J.J. McCarthy, he is for real. All right, Sage says I didn't miss anything. Send your offers in, and everyone have a good night.